I'm Kent Weens, owner of Weens Lawn and Tree Care in Parker, Colorado, here to tell you about deep root fertilizing trees and shrubs. Now, your trees and shrubs need water and fertilizer just like the lawn does. The purpose of the fertilizing is that to give it overall health and vigor, to keep it actively growing. It helps the trees, especially to fight off attack from disease, insects, and beetles. The way that we fertilize trees, we do it once a year at Weens Lawn Care. And depending on whether you are using a um, slow release fertilizer or a instantly available, quick release nitrogen fertilizer. The slow release, you can do that any time of year. You just do it once a year. The other type, the quick release, immediately available nitrogen fertilizers, you do in the spring or the fall. At Weens Lawn Care, we use a 20-20-20 analysis, uh, instantly available nitrogen fertilizer, and we do it in the spring and the fall. The way we do it is we have an instrument that's called a probe, and what the purpose is to inject the fertilizer down into the soil to the roots of the trees. You need to get it down about a foot deep into the soil for the roots of the tree to be able to take it up into the upper canopy and parts of the tree. And the way this is done is through the xylem and phloem layers of the trunk, which are just beneath the bark, or the cambium layer. One layer takes water and nutrients from the roots up to the branches, the upper part of the tree. The other takes oxygen through photosynthesis through the leaves and brings it down the trunk to the roots. And like I say, we use what's called a probe, as you can see in the picture there. It's attached to the end of the hose on the spray truck, and the pump pulls material fertilizer from the tank in the truck there and pushes it out the hose and out of the end of the hose and through the probe, which is like a big hypodermic needle. It's got holes in the very tip, which is a pointed tip, and when you pull the lever or trigger, as I call it, then under fairly high pressure, it injects uh, the fertilizer down into the soil and feeds the tree. And what we do is we put a hole about every 2 feet um, around the outer perimeter or the drip line of the tree, and about half a gallon per hole once a year. And this really helps the trees, like I say, to be actively growing and to help them fight off attack from insects, diseases, and beetles. Um, Now, on this video, I'm going to give you also a report, and it is called 10 Things You Must Know to Avoid Choosing the Wrong Lawn and Tree Service. And if you want to take notes, I'll give you just a minute to grab a pen and paper. The first one is, are they a legal business? Do they have a registered trade name with the state in which you reside? It is law in the state of Colorado. Every business must have a registered trade name with the state. This is public information, and you can go to the state's website and do a search on their DBA, doing business as, name, and see. If they don't, you probably don't want to do business with them. Next one, how long have they been in business? Just because they haven't been in business very long doesn't necessarily mean they're not a legitimate business. If they have years of experience working for other reputable companies, maybe they just recently made the move to start their own business. But if they just started yesterday and don't have previous experience in the industry, you probably want to stay away. Next one, are they registered with the Better Business Bureau? Just because they are not registered with the BBB, the Better Business Bureau, does not necessarily mean they're not a legitimate business. It is very expensive to register with them, and maybe they just can't afford it yet. But you can do a search on their business on the BBB website to see if there are any complaints there against them. I always do a check with the BBB when considering using a new business that I'm not familiar with. Another reputable consumer advocate in the Denver, Colorado metro area is Tom Martino, the troubleshooter. The next one, are they licensed? You must be licensed with the Colorado Department of Agriculture to legally apply pesticides for hire in the state of Colorado. A pesticide is any chemical used to rid you of a pest, i.e. herbicide is a weed killer, insecticide, insect killer, fungicide, disease killer. Next one, do they carry insurance? Any business must carry a minimum of $1 million of liability insurance in the state of Colorado. This is in case you do major damage on a client's property or there is injury or death caused by them. The next one, how much experience / knowledge do they have? Do they know enough about lawn and tree care to accurately diagnose and make recommendations for the problems with your lawn and trees? You don't want to be paying them all kinds of money to do the applications, and your lawn just continues to look worse and worse because they're not addressing the problems on your property. All they know how to do is the applications, and that's it. Next one, do they guarantee their work? Some things you can't guarantee, such as seeding, because good results depend on the client doing their part by following watering instructions, and we have no control over that. But we can guarantee that the job will be done right the first time and to your satisfaction. Next one is, why are their prices so much lower on some services such as aeration? First, you must be sure you are comparing apples to apples. Do they carry liability insurance? If they do damage on your property, will they fix it or replace it at no cost to you? If you pay $25 for your aeration and they do $250 of damage to your sprinkler system and won't fix it or replace it, you haven't saved much, have you? And if necessary, get it in writing before they do the job. Next one, do they keep their word? When they say they will be there on a certain day, do they show up? If not, do they give you a call to explain why not? Do they say they will do something and then when it comes down to it, they won't? Do they quote one price, then bill you for more? How is their integrity? Are they a man of their word? Do they return your calls? How soon? And the last one is, do they use safe products? Are they concerned about the health and safety of you, your children, your pets, the environment, the public, your property? Do they list on the invoice they leave with you products used, any precautions, special instructions, EPA registration numbers in case of emergency, their contact information, your contact information? They should, because it's the law. And that's my video on deep root fertilizing trees and shrubs. Thank you.